She had dressed herself up to look like a harlot, but yet it was his own child, and she had proved by giving back the things that he gave her as a pledge, because he didn't have what he had promised to give her originally. Okay? And Judah acknowledged them and said, she has been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more. And it came to pass in the time of her travail, that behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass, when she travailed, that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, this came out first. And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, how hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez. So the one that came out first, after his brother put his hand out first out the womb, and the handmaid tied a thread to it, and he pulled his hand back out, and then the other child twin came out before that one. They called his name Pharez. Now I want you to remember that name Pharez, because we're going to go back to him at some point, going through these scriptures in terms of us explaining to you that the only way you can be an Israelite is through your father and not your mother. The only way you can be a Jew is through your father. It doesn't matter who your mother is. Your mother could be a Hawaiian. It doesn't matter where she comes from. Unless your father's an Israelite, you are not a Jew, a Benjamite, an Asherite, Natali, Gadite, none of the tribes. It has to be through your father. And afterwards came his brother, that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zara. Right, so we're going to jump to Genesis chapter 46, verse 27. So Genesis chapter 46, verse 27. Yes, stay with me. And the sons of Joseph, which were born to him in Egypt, were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 67. Yeah? So we know that 70 people came into Egypt. Now let's quickly jump back up to verse 7. Genesis chapter 46, verse 7. And let's see who are these people that were numbered, that are rich. These were the first Israelites that came into Egypt, apart from Joseph, who had already gone in there into captivity until he became the head of the house, and then he became the Pharaoh's right-hand man. Now, this is Genesis chapter 46. We're going to jump to verse 7. His sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought he with him into Egypt. And these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt: Jacob and his sons, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben, Hanok, Phalu, Hezron, and Carmi, the sons of Simeon, Jamel, Jamin, and Ohad, and Jachin, and Zohar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanish woman. There you go. And the sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Moriah. The sons of Judah, and Onan, and Shelah, and Pharez, and Zerah. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Pharez were Hezron and Hamul. And the sons of Issachar, Tula, and Puvah, and Job, and Shimron. And the sons of Zebulun, Sered, and Elon, and Jehiel. These be the sons of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob in Pandamaram, with his daughter Dinah, because he had one daughter, Jacob. All the souls of his sons and his daughters were 33. And the sons of Gad, Ziphion, and Haggai, Shunai, and Esbon, Eri, and Arodai, and Areli. And the sons of Asher, Jimnah, and Ishua, and Isuai, and Beriah, and Sarah, their sister. And the sons of Beriah, Heba, and Malchi. These are the sons of Zilpah, whose Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bare unto Jacob, even 16 souls. And the sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, Joseph and Benjamin. And unto Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh, and Ephraim, and Asenath, and the daughter of Potiphar, the priest of On, bare unto him. And the sons of Benjamin were Bela and Beka and Ashbel and Gera and Naaman and Ehi and Rosh and Mupim and Hupim and Ard. These are the sons of Rachel, which were born of Jacob. All the souls were 14. And the sons of Dan, Hushim. And the sons of Naphtali, Jazil and Guni and Jeza and Shilem. These are the sons of Bela, which Laban gave unto Rachel his daughter, and she bare these unto Jacob. All these souls were 7. All the souls that came with Jacob into Egypt, which came out of his lions, besides Jacob's sons' wives, all the souls were 66. And the sons of Joseph, which were born into him in Egypt, were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 70. So as you can see, these were all the men that were named. They didn't name the wives of Jacob's 12 sons that came into him. It was the men, because according to your house, it was according to the men. According to you being an Israelite, it was according to the men. That's why all the men were listed, apart from the daughters that these men had, and the daughter of Jacob, which was Dinah. Otherwise, it was all the men of the house of Israel that were listed, that were counted, that went into the land of Egypt during the times of the drought. Okay? Just so you have an understanding. They didn't list all the men just because it was a good thing to do. It was because it's by law, by what the Lord said. You are an Israelite according to who your father is, not according to who your mother is and to your father. That's why all the men were listed. I want to get more deep into this, yeah? We're just beginning, we're just warming. We're going to go to Exodus chapter 1. The Lord is a man of war. Chapter 1, verse 1 to 4. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the lions of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already. So, when they were counting the houses of the tribes of Israel that came into Israel at the time, it was according to the men. They didn't go and take their wives and said, these were the sons of Jackie, Sharon, Michelle. They didn't call the wives, because the wives were not counted in this. Because according to your wife, it didn't matter who your wife was. It was according to the father. That's why it says here explicitly in chapter 1 verse 5, Exodus, and all the souls that came out of the lions of Jacob were 70 souls. Not the lions of Rachel, or the lions of Leah, or the lions of Zilpah, or the lions of Bela, but the lions of Jacob, because Jacob, the male, carries the seed. It's as simple as that. And these are simple scriptures, but yet still you have those Jewish people, those fake Jews, going around, and no one questions them, although the scriptures in the Old Testament tells them you can only be a Jew or an Israelite from one of the 12 tribes according to your father. But yet they go around telling the whole world that you can only be a Jew according to your mother. But why is no one putting them up for it? Why isn't none of those fucking dollar, what's his name? Creflo Dollar or that Joseph Oldby, what his name is, all those TV evangelist preachers who claim to know the scriptures, who claim to know the Holy Bible, King James 6-11 inside that. Why ain't none of them say, hold on a minute, but the Old Testament says you can only be an Israelite or a Jew according to your father? Because they're all part of the conspiracy. All of them are bound down to these fake Jewish people, these demons, these gutter rats that live in Israel. They are all bowing down to them. Because the Holy Scriptures, the Torah, the Tanakh, the Old Testament, which are the same books, they all tell you the same thing. But no one is questioning them. Why? Ask yourself why. Numbers chapter 1. I really love the book of Numbers, because it really goes into our history of our family lines and how we spread out, how large we were amongst different families. Numbers chapter 1, we'll start at verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the second month, in the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their, wait for it, fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their polls, not by the house of their mothers, but by the house of their fathers. Now, if it clearly explains to you there in the book of Numbers chapter 1, that when the house of Israel was to be counted and was to be numbered, it was according to the house of their fathers, because who their mothers were didn't make any difference. They could have been a Canaanite, an Edomite, a Jebusite, a Hittite. It didn't matter, a Moabite, an Ammonite. It didn't matter where they came from, the mothers. It was according to the fathers. Why? Because according to the law, to the scriptures, according to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, it's the man who carries the seed. And by the laws that the Lord gave them, Israel is accounted by his fathers. That's why Jacob had 12 sons. And that's why the 12 tribes are named after his 12 sons. None of the tribes are named after his daughter Dinah. He had a daughter called Dinah. There's not a tribe of Dinah, is there? But yet there's a tribe of what? Joseph, Dan, Gad, Simeon, Reuben, Naphtali, Benjamin, Judah. There's no tribe of Dinah. Why is that? Since the woman is playing such an important part in the house of Israel in terms of who the Israelites are, and for you to be an Israelite, for you to come at your body. Since she's playing, why wasn't there a tribe of Dinah? Why didn't the Lord say, we're going to have a tribe of Dinah as well? Because there is nothing in the scriptures, nothing. There's not a single scripture that says you are an Israelite according to your mother. Yet every single scripture that tells you that if you're an Israelite, it has to be accounted to your father. There are dozens and dozens all throughout the Old and New